The first thing to do was to remove all of the hardware from the desk. The desk itself was rather sticky from all of the old wax that was on it, so I had to remove that too. Pledge is very difficult to remove, so rather than try to sand it off, I used mineral spirits to remove it. After all of the wax was removed, I could see how many marks there were in the actual wood itself. Far too many attempts at distressing the wood, and I didn't want those to appear in my finished desk, so I had to cover them, or I had to sand them off and refill them. Something had to be done. While I tried to figure out what could be used to fill in all of the distressing marks, I decided to sand the pieces first. I used an electric sander, but you could easily have used just sandpaper. I happen to have a sander and an air filtration system in the garage, so I used those. I also tried using a sanding block, which I think was a lot easier than just sanding by hand, but I did that too. You have to pick your poison. Some people don't like holding on to the sanding block, but it's up to you, whichever way you prefer to do it. I think the sanding block was a lot faster. You have to pick your poison. Some people don't like holding on to the sanding block, but it's up to you, whichever way you prefer. Having all the supplies close at hand sure made the process a lot easier. You definitely want to remember to have things to clean up with, like your paper towels, maybe Windex, definitely some water, and a little bit of soapy water as well. It's always helpful to not have to struggle if something gets spilled. You can easily respond by just using a little bit of paper towel and water to clean up. When taping your pieces, remember that the tape wants to be used to cover the areas that you're concerned about accidentally painting over. This particular drawer, as we see, I didn't want the red paint to get on the face of the drawer, so I put the tape over the edge where the two surfaces were going to meet, the red and the blue. I think the most frightening thing was when I did my first coat of paint and realized that it seemed as if the brown was coming through again, like it just wouldn't die. So I decided to walk away for a little while and just see what happened. I suggest if you have a similar problem, you do the same. Paint the coat on as evenly as you can, and then walk away, let it dry. I was astounded at how little the paint smelled. I was actually able to get things painted and leave them in the middle of the floor, working around them to get dinner ready and serve dinner in the dining room. No one even noticed the smell of the paint. The paint was expensive, so I didn't want to waste it by using it on the bottoms of the drawers where I knew that I really only needed to put a little bit of wax to allow the drawer to slide in and out evenly in the track. I would not suggest painting the bottoms of the drawers unless the drawers are suspended on a track. After practicing on the insides of the drawers, I was able to move ahead to start painting the front of the desk drawers and then on to painting the desk itself. The case itself is going to be painted later, so bear with me as we walk through the painting of the fronts of the drawers. The painter's tape that I used a little bit of on the sides just to make sure that I didn't get the red paint on the drawers was applied after the first coat and after the red paint had cured. I didn't do it when I was just painting the fronts of the drawers because I was afraid that until the paint on the sides cured, it would present a problem if I tried to tape over it. So I would remind you to make sure that if you're going to tape over an area you've painted, make sure the paint is cured before you apply the tape.